There's something I've been thinking about a lot the last few years that I don't know exactly how to define. Let's say you want to buy a new camera. You get online and you research it, watch video reviews about it, and basically obsess over it. And while you're obsessing over it, you imagine all the different videos you'll shoot and all the pictures you'll take and how you're going to use it on this trip and that trip. Finally, you get the camera, and for the first day you're using it, testing it, it's so exciting. But after that first day, there's a couple of different directions this could go. One, you actually go out and use your camera and fulfill all those fantasies you had before buying the camera. This is the most rare. Two, you put the camera on a shelf, never use it, and feel guilty for buying it, but don't give it much thought besides that. This is probably the most common. But there's a third thing that happens, and I'm sure many of you have had this experience, where you get something, and then you immediately go looking to buy something else. And you know it's insane, but you do it anyway. And next thing you know, you're buying some new speakers for no reason. It reminds me of when I was a kid. I discovered pretty early on that the anticipation of a thing was always better than actually receiving it. It never failed that the lead up to Christmas was always kind of better than the climax, so to speak. Although, you kind of still need that climax. Now, I don't think that this is all bad, because the metagame of collecting new stuff can be fun on its own. I really enjoy perfecting my video game setup and collecting new games just for its own sake. When I buy a Japanese Saturn game for 10 bucks on eBay, I know I'm probably only gonna play it for like an hour, but I'm spending that 10 bucks on the thrill of anticipation and the pleasure of that 1 hour of playing and all those micro doses of pleasure when I see it sitting there on my shelf. But the trap and the thing that really depresses me is when we get caught in these purgatories where we're looking for things to fill the holes in our souls. And instead of filling it with what we actually desire and need, we fill it with something easy that is adjacent to that desire. Traveling to another country requires time and money and effort, but if I had a good camera, I'd definitely go do it. Shooting and editing a video is hard, but if I just had that lens, boy, I could make an amazing video. It's like this. Say you're really hungry, and on the other side of the river is dinner. You get a raft, float to the other side, and you eat your dinner. The raft is just a tool to get you to dinner. Your raft may be better or worse, and depending on how often you cross the river, or the condition of the river, maybe you need a better raft to reliably get yourself to the other side. But at the end of the day, the raft is just a raft. Don't focus on the raft, focus on the dinner. So speaking of goodies to fill that hole in the soul, I got some goodies to fill the hole in the soul. Okay, this one was real cheap. I think this was $4 all told, including shipping. Lunar, the Silver Star story for Sega Saturn. I've actually never owned any Lunar game before. Almost had the PS1 version at some point, but for some reason I never bought it. But I was like, at $3? Come on, man, that's just fun to have in the collection. And this right here, this one was not quite as cheap. This was like $28, I believe. But with the Grandia HD collection, I was like, oh man, that HD collection is actually not that great. I'm pretty disappointed with it. Way back in the day, I played a pirated copy of Grandia 2, and I always wanted to own it. I just never got around to actually getting it. Although I'm kind of torn on buying a used game to cover the pirated copy because the original developers aren't getting any of the money from this. But now I have an actual copy of Grandia 2. That's a thick manual. Wow. Oh, the disc is in good condition. Great. Some fun little tidbits to fill that hole in the soul. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's Vlog and Hammer. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.
Look at the size of this sickle. It's as big as his head.